33. We're moving on to number 21 on the agenda, to consider resolution 22-12-130, a resolution approving the preliminary plat of Katie's Glen, D 220016, Goodview Avenue between 255th and 258th Street. Applicant Prodota Enterprises, property ID number 21-10140.00. We've really all talked about this, right, Mr. Weck? So there shouldn't need to be any other conversation. Okay, so we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Madam Mayor, I need a motion to take it off the table.
Oh, this one's on the table
We
too?
table both of them, yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so
Move to remove from the table.
we have a motion to remove from the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Onstad. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, so approved. All right, we need a motion to approve resolution 22-12-130.
So moved.
We have a motion by member Schilling. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second by member Luger. I'll go by roll call again, please. Member Luger?
Aye.
Member Onstad?
Aye.
Member Schilling?
Aye.
Member Yeager?
Nay.
Mayor Iverson is nay. It does approve. New business.
For the
Can we do
record,
it?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Onset, I missed it for the.
He said
you
aye.
A or nay?
I said aye.
Aye, okay, thank you, I'm sorry.
All right, new business number 22, to consider resolution 2201-08, a resolution rezoning a property from the rural residential I district R1 to office and health district OHC Z-22-004, location 257th Street. Applicant 257 Land Holding LLC, property ID number 21.10605.00. Mr. Weck.
Madam Mayor and council members, 257 Land Holdings is requesting the rezoning of two parcels from the R1 district to the R2, or to the OEC district. Oh. Like, need to start over? So it's a rezoning. Property is located at the end of 257th Street, just south of the hospital, next to I-35. Both parcels are currently vacant. They're currently zoned rural residential 1, and they're requesting to be changed to the office and healthcare district. These are the zoning standards for the minimum lot sizes and areas. We'll check those when they actually do develop. And staff and the planning commission are recommending rezoning from the R1 district to the office and healthcare district.
Mr. Weck, just so I understand, all the other property around there is zoned office, health, and
Everything.
right, everything over there is. This is the only one that's not.
To the north is office and healthcare. To the south is rural residential.
Okay, sounds good. Anybody have any questions? We're just going to move
I
along.
do.
Member Yeager.
How does multifamily housing serve the purpose of the OHC district?
The OHC district allows
Housing for the elderly.
housing for the elderly, hotels, motels.
Right, I got all that.
Okay.
How does it, I mean, what comes down to bottom line, how is this similar to housing to the elderly, for the elderly?
If they have 55 plus, like the two Hines Lake developments,
But it's not restricted.
it would have to be restricted to be in that development. Right now, all they're requesting is rezoning. They've thrown a lot of different proposals towards me. All of them are residential type, but we haven't, that's not on the table right now, just the rezoning is.
Okay, because when I look at what he's proposed, he's not proposing elderly housing.
Then that would be a reason to deny it when that happens. But right now, he's just requesting a rezoning to match what the comprehensive plan is.
Oh, no wonder I can't. Right. And where is the access to the property?
Be at the end of the 257th Street, the cul-de-sac there.
Are you gonna access it from 257th, or is there gonna be traffic onto 250th?
They're not looking at improving it, and we're not, right now, not looking at putting any accesses onto that road. And the city ordinance does not allow any commercial traffic to go through residential districts. So if the commercial use is on that property, they would not be able to use that street at all for commercial uses.
Okay. You know, when I read what he's proposing,
Mhm.
this isn't working for me.
I understand, but right now, it's just a rezoning, it's not.
Right, and, yeah, I mean, I'm not comfortable with this rezoning, especially since it's abutting to R1 houses, and that he's not explicitly coming out with housing for the elderly, so.
Okay. Member Schilling, any questions?
No questions.
Member Onstad?
No questions.
Member Lugar?
No questions.
All right, we need a motion to approve Resolution 230108.
So moved.
We have a motion by Member Schilling. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Lugar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
So approved. Resolution 230109, a resolution rezoning property from the rural residential R1 to the office and health district. Z22004, location 257th Street, applicant 257 Land Holding LLC, property ID number 21.10542.10. Same thing.
Same situation.
Same
This
thing.
is just a smaller lot that won't actually get built on.
Okay. If there are no questions, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Member Schilling. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Lugar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
So approved. Number 24, to consider hiring Terry Berg as a part-time background investigator with the Wyoming Police Department at a rate of $36.57. Mr. Linwood or Mr. Sachs?
It's going to be Chief Bauer.
Chief Bauer. Hey, thanks for being here today.
Gotta contribute something, right? As you know, we have an opening for police officer after we lost one to Chisago County. As a part of that hiring process, we do need to conduct a thorough background check, just to ensure that they meet the standards that are set by the state, and also some of the data access communication systems that are available. And the background is really one of those final steps to ensure that this person, when we do a hiring process, does meet those requirements and is going to be a good fit for our agency. These background investigations do take a significant amount of time. An experienced background investigator, it's like 16 to 24 hours, depending on their history, how much they need to dig into them. At this point, we don't have anyone that is trained to do that on staff right now. And our one investigator that we do have does maintain a significant caseload. When we're doing background checks, it means we're already down someone. So our investigator right now is doing patrol shifts as well, on top of other duties that he does perform. Best practice would be to make sure that we're using an experienced backgrounder, just to make sure that we're complying with data practice laws, making sure that we're digging into those questions that we really need to better understand this candidate. And hiring a part-time background investigator allows us to, and this is common practice with this type of situation, hire a part-time employee. That way we can freely exchange information rather than a contractor that we have to, all these hurdles for data practice issues that come up. Terry is a Chisago County resident. She was a police officer for Forest Lake and also Woodbury for several years. She's been doing background investigations since 2004. List of 12 plus different agencies that she does backgrounds for. Very experienced, and has already provided me a bunch of insight in what things we should be doing with our backgrounds as well. So, rate that we're proposing is $36.57 an hour. These funds are available because of the vacancy that is available or open right now, with Ms. Edwards leaving. And in the future, we would look at budgeting in the part-time budget but at this point, we would just use those funds that are vacant. We hope we don't have any other additional vacancies this year. So we're looking at estimated cost for the position, about $1,800, provided we find good candidate the first time around here.
All right.
Is there any questions?
Chief Bauer, how many hours are we expecting this person? Do we think? What are you budgeting
She
for?
said 16 to 24 per candidate. So if the first one out of the chute is that we want to hire, that's the extent of it.
Okay. All right. That's all my questions. Member Schilling?
No questions. I understood it the way he just answered.
Okay. Member Yeager?
This is a new position for the department?
Yeah, it is, yes.
Yes, and why wasn't this brought up during the last budget discussions, last year's budget meeting?
Sure. The position, considering the limited amount of time that's being allocated to the position, it's a minimal budgetary impact. At that point, it was just in kind of discussion, having additional conversations with her, and recognizing how important this is because of this process. And we didn't know that we'd be losing the officer. I can't propose a position until it's vacant.
Right, but you offices come and go all the time.
But if I don't have a vacancy, I don't need the position.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Member Luger?
I have no questions.
Thank you.
Member Onstead?
No questions.
All right, so we need a motion to approve hiring Terry Berg as a part-time background investigator with the Wyoming Police Department at a rate of $36.75. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Member Luger, second.
Second.
Second by Member Onstad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
So passes. Number 25, to consider a work session on January 11th, 2023 to discuss next steps for the Wyoming Public Safety Building. Mr. Linwood.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. This is just a check-in with Wold. We just wanted to, as they've been doing final estimates with Wold and Crowe Sanderson for the building, and then just kind of go through some of those estimates with the council as they're compiling those. Talk a little bit where we are in the potential for state bonding, where the legislature's at, and the borrowing market. Mr. Steinman from Baker Tilly is going to be doing some updated runs too with some, there has been some slight changes in regards to interest rates and things like that. So we just wanted to have a check-in with the council just to go over some of these things. So we're proposing a work session on January 11th at 6 p.m.
Okay. Does everybody have January 11th available?
I do.
Yes?
Yes.
6 o'clock? Is that on?
Yes.
Yes.
6, okay. Linda?
Prefer it at 7, but yes, it's available.
I
Okay.
prefer all these at 5.
Besides that, all right, then I will make a motion to place the council work session January 11th at 6 p.m. here at City Council. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Luger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Council reports. Let's start with Member Luger.
I have no report. I hope everyone had a peaceful New Year and holiday season. I'm honored to continue to serve the community. So thank you for attending and for watching.
All right, Member Onstad.
I attended the planning commission last week, which was also last year. And other than that, I have no other reports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for attending.
All right, Member Schilling.
I have no report. I was on vacation for 3 weeks. It was well needed. Thank you for all watching, and have a good week.
All right, and Member Yeager.
No report. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for attending, and I hope you all have a very prosperous New Year.
All right, I attended the Planning Commission meeting as well as a resident. And I didn't get a chance to say thank you to Officer Edwards. We wish her the best, and we're really gonna miss her here in the city, but I know she's gonna do a great job at the county. So, all right, everybody else, Happy New Year, and with that, I move to adjourn. Do we have a second? Second. Second, all in favor?